Welcome to Lean Channel Management's Pro Tips for Vendors. I'm Dave McLean.
And I'm Scott Pano. Together we have over 20 years of experience working at Amazon.com and with brands on Amazon.
We take a very Amazon-centric approach to building brands on Amazon.com.
We like to consider ourselves navigators. And today we're going to talk to you about why it's important to set up your products on Amazon first before you let third parties at them.
But I've got all the information ready, Scott. I might as well just go throw it out there and get sales right now.
That's a very poor idea, David. And
Why is that?
The reason is because Amazon uses those ASINs. Once you set it up, it becomes an ASIN globally. And that can cause problems when you're trying to merge your retail listings with a third party's listing.
But don't I have complete authoritative control? I mean, after all, I have a vendor relationship with Amazon. I am the brand.
To a degree. However, there can be problems when an ASIN goes global and you lose control over that ASIN.
So how do I go about going and ensuring that I have a tighter control over the content?
Well, it's all about speed to market. So making sure that your products are set up first before you send any of your merchants or any of your other retailers the UPC codes. And that's really the key, David, is the UPC codes, because that's how a third-party merchant can set up a product very, very quickly on Amazon.
So how much time should I allow for Amazon to do a setup and assign me these Amazon standard identification numbers?
So ASINs typically are assigned within 2 weeks. Sometimes it's very, very quick. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer. But what you want to do is just simply make sure that the item has been set up first before you send it out to third parties.
That's fantastic. Now, historically, brands have just been putting out spreadsheets with their item information and then allowing other third parties to go list on Amazon. But that's really strange, though, because oftentimes we see other detail pages being created. We see other third parties using different UPCs on Amazon, replacing model numbers with their own model numbers, because they've been taught to create a completely separate detail page on Amazon.com.
Right. It's a strategy that's been employed by merchants for many years. It's in books, and it's been somewhat effective. However, Amazon's has been over the years trying to clamp down on this and allowing for merchants to be able to exert more control over it.
It's actually against Amazon's seller policies to do that. So one of the interesting things you can do as a brand is get your ASINs created early, and then instead of just going and handing out your model numbers and your UPCs, actually hand out those ASINs that you've created and insist anyone that you authorize to sell on Amazon to list by those ASINs, which is actually really easy on Seller Central to do.
That's right. It speeds up the process for the merchants to list those products if they have the ASINs in hand.
They actually don't even have to go and provide all the content, which goes and reduces the risk that they may potentially overwrite some of your content.
Right. And it's also important with imagery. You do not want third parties overwriting your official images or even the rest of your official content.
So the biggest tip here, though, is to go and create a distribution agreement saying, hey, we're going to give you a bunch of information. If you're allowed to list on marketplaces, you'll be allowed to be listed on a marketplace by our written authorization only. If we give you this information, you won't change it. And that if we make changes because perhaps we made a mistake, we need to update things, you'll update things as well. Those are some really simple concepts out there that will ensure that your content will be intact and in integrity.
That's a very good point, David. And I'm Scott Pano.
And I'm Dave McLean. And that's our pro tip for ensuring that your information on Amazon is correct and that your third parties are using your information correctly. Look for a future posting on videos, and look for a future posting on imagery.